Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us again on this lovely Tuesday morning. Well, lovely in Sydney, and from what I gather, lovely in Brisbane as well. As you can see, another awesome day planned, plenty on the schedule, kicking off just before with some jump rope and now into some Tai Chi with Phil. And it's great to see all the regulars coming back into the room. Before we begin, though, I would like to do an acknowledgement of country. We would like to acknowledge the First Nations people as the original inhabitants of this country. We recognise, respect and celebrate the cultural distinctions and traditions of Indigenous people and value their rich and positive contribution to society. We pay respects to the traditional owners and custodians of the land we work on and acknowledge all elders and warriors past, present and emerging. So once again, good morning, everyone. I hope that you are having a lovely day. But for now, straight over to you, Phil.
Smashing. Hi, everybody. Hope you're well. Let me just get into position. Let's see where we are camera-wise to start with. Can we see feet? Yeah, we can see hands. We just got my glasses down so I don't break them. I've shut the door so we won't have any cat action today. If we do, she'll be sat in the windowsill over there. So we should get a little more done. So hi, everybody. This is Tai Chi with Phil. If you're new to this, this is a gentle flow called Tai Chi for rehabilitation. Let's just make sure we can see the feet there. It can all be done seated, okay? So we can sit down and do this, or I'm going to do some stuff standing up. If you want to remain seated, that's fine. Same rules as always. We work at about a 70% comfort zone. So wherever we're moving and however we're moving, I just want you to move 70% of what is comfortable. We're not trying to really push ourselves. We're trying to work to that 70%, and then we're going to expand that 70%, and we're going to stretch that. So nothing too extreme, some nice loose fitting clothing. If you're not feeling so good, then just take it easy. If you need to sit some of the movement out, that's fine. Catch up whenever you like. And really, yeah, just have some fun, you know. This is good for you. Tai Chi is a huge health benefit. I've just started studying myself, actually, to get another qualification in Tai Chi. And it's just reminded me of all the huge amounts of health benefits that movement and Tai Chi brings. So it's really great stuff. And if it's any consolation to anybody that's been training with me for a while, I'm learning again now. So I've got my exams on Saturday the 13th of November. So we're all in this together. It's a phrase that's used a lot at the moment, isn't it? So we're all learning together. Sounds like lots of people are coming into the room. Hi if you're new, hi if you're not. So we're going to do the first set of movements, the first flow we're going to do. If you're a knees together person, that's okay. If you're a knees open person, that's okay. If you're joining me as part of Phil Morley's push to get people moving around when they're sitting at their desks, hi Phil. Be really good. You can do all of this sat down, so just go with it and have some fun. So yeah, have a bottle of water next to you, certainly if you're in Queensland anyway. Make sure you stay hydrated. Tai Chi always gets your heart rate up much more than you think. So stay hydrated, stay with it. If you lose track, if you speed up, slow down, you need to sit down, sit down. If you fancy trying standing up for the first time today, do it. Just do it within your 70%, okay? So we're going to start. We're going to take a breath and we're going to center. Just going to clear the mind a little bit. Got no cat distracting me today. And we're going to lift up those hands to start with. Up to just about shoulder height. Good to see people on their cameras. Turn those hands to face us. We come back. As we come back, we're just going to tuck our chin back very slightly. Not too much. We're going to push. And then we're going to drop those hands down. As we drop those hands down at the bottom, we're just going to roll our head down just from our neck, okay? No shoulders, and just to 70% of what is comfortable. Lift those hands up and straighten that head again. And in. Tuck that chin. And push. And drop down. And roll that head. I think we're going to do one more of these. We'll lift up those hands. And in. Tuck that chin. Push. And drop the head down. Okay, we'll lift both of those hands up again. I'm going to drop my right hand to my knee. I'm going to open my left palm. And I'm going to imagine a stick between my palm and my chin. Let's see how the shoulder goes today. Not bad. Anybody that is new today? A little bit of a left shoulder issue. It's always good to see how Tai Chi pushes that 70%. That's already better, you see. Movement is the key. Just keep moving. Imagine that stick to the chin. 70% of what is comfortable. Swap hands. Back round. Keeping our knees and our pelvis painting. Facing forwards. I don't know where painting came from. Okay, that was our last one. In Tai Chi, we call that shoulder palm. Drop that palm down to the knee. Nice, great little start. Oh, the capstone are waiting. Hey, Blossom, your fan club's waiting for you. So we're going to roll forwards once, twice. If you're new to this, this is Blossom the cat. 3, 1, 2, and 3.
صدای مرا میشنوی؟ سلام برسه به همه بارای محترم.
Well, we're going to gather up our chin and we're going to drop our hands down. Can we make sure that we're muted, please? Somebody seems to be talking over the top of me there. And let that rain fall down. There'll be a little 2 or 3 minutes at the end of this. Gather up and let the rain fall down. We can have a little chat then if you like. Excellent. Let's do 3 more of those. As you know, if you've trained with me before, I do like this movement. Let the rain fall down. We had storms everywhere yesterday, apart from Brisbane. So we're still dry in Brisbane. Last one. We'll gather up.
صدای مرا میشنوی؟
And we'll let that rain fall down. So we're going to hold a ball in front. We don't want this hand above our chin. And we don't want this hand below our belly button. Okay? And we drop or we sink the elbow. Wherever our top wrist is, the elbow needs to be lower than that. Okay? The same on the other side. We sink the elbow. Okay? And we do that so that when we're doing other forms, when we're doing side whip and stuff like that, our elbow is always lower than our wrist. Good Tai Chi principles. We're going to take that bottom hand. We're going to bring that bottom hand up. We're going to hold up the ceiling, wherever we want to go with this hand, okay? My master pull down, he goes to about there. I like a little more space myself. And rather than a big stretch, what we're trying to do is just make some space in our back, okay? And we're going to come back to ball. We're going to bring that up. We're going to go the other way. And back to center. Back the other way. Nice. Make some space. Like I say, it's not a huge stretch. As we lift up and we push down, we're just opening up the ribs and we're just opening up the spine. It's not a huge stretch. Our pelvis should remain squarely sat down. Blossom's going to go find herself somewhere comfortable to sit. Nice. Get some space in there. Last one. Push up. Nice. Back to center. See if we can make sure that we're dropping that elbow. Okay. Not below the belly button, not above the chin. And then we're going to move, whichever elbow you've got on top, we're going to move in that direction. And as we do, we want to make sure that we keep our pelvis and our knees, everything below the belly button, facing forward. As soon as that starts to twist round, that's our 70%, okay? And we'll move our hands round, we sink that elbow, and we go back the other way. And we roll. We sink that elbow. While we do this, if we're advancing our form, we should be concentrating on just below the belly button, which is where all this movement will be coming from when we get really good at this. And that will be our indication of where our pelvis is. Anybody that's new to this, just breathe easy. And if every now and then we can just concentrate on that belly button, that'll do for now. Let's have a look at where we are. Yeah, good form. Last one. Let's roll that round, sink that elbow. If we keep sinking that elbow now, you see, it will just become habit. And that's where we want to be. We drop that hand slightly, we bring that other hand up. We mirror. So what I mean by mirroring is that both hands are the same, and we bring them down to the floor. Okay. Little shake out. Let it all go. Gonna have a little sip of water. It's a warm day in Brisbane. So, now that we're ready, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up my hands like that, and then I'm going to push my hands down behind me against an imaginary wall or just as a counterbalance, and then we're going to start moving our feet. Let me give you a little demonstration stood up of what we're looking at. We're going to have soft knees when we stand, but I'll go through that a little bit later on. So, we're going to lift that up, and we're going to drop that down. We're going to find a place where both of our hands are comfortable behind us. When we have that counterbalance, we're going to go heel, and then we're going to go toe. If we're feeling good, we can do all that in one movement. And if we're not feeling so good, we can just modify, and we can do gentle movements like that. However you're feeling, and if yesterday it all was feeling really, really good and it was all moving really, really well, and today suddenly it's not feeling that good, don't worry, that's just part of training. That's just part of Tai Chi. Some days our balance is better than others. I always find if I've had a couple of glasses of wine, the next day my balance is not so good. So there's all sorts of factors involved. Don't worry, be patient with yourself. Give it time, give it patience, but first give it time. Okay? Up our hands to shoulder height. And we're going to push down behind us. We're going to find where that balance point is. We're going to imagine that we're pushing against that wall. I'm going to step out with my left leg, but whichever leg feels comfortable, whichever leg you want to start with at this point, it really doesn't matter. And we'll try center to start with. And then we'll lift our hands back up and we'll go toe behind us. And we'll go center. And we'll go heel. Okay, feel the rhythm. Now, if we're feeling really good, as we move through, we can do that all in one go if we're feeling that. And we can go back all in one go if that's working well for us. If we tried that and we've got pain in the hip, just make those small movements and we will improve that 70%. We're on every day. If we practice every day, the movement will improve. And back to center. Okay. Have a little even out. Move the pelvis from side to side. Make sure that we're nice and even. Let's lift up those hands again. And back. And lift that heel out. And we'll go to center. And we'll go to toe. All in one go if we're feeling good. And center. And toe. Or all in one go, or any of what we've discussed. Okay? And back. Okay. Have a little shake out. Feeling pretty good, huh? I certainly am. We might have a little bit of intrusion in the studio. We might have somebody moving around the outside. We've got a little property inspection going on today, and I can't help the timing of it. She seems to be early, so bear with me. We can work around it, I'm sure. Just stay nice and focused, and we'll be fine. So, however we like to hold our knees so that we're comfortable, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my first, for me, it's my first 3 fingers. They're kind of even like that, and my little finger's a little scraggly thing that won't sit right. So I'll just go there and there, wherever we are with our hands. If we're feeling it already, and it's our first time in here, and our shoulders are feeling a little bit sore after what we've done, we can rest our hands at this point. We can make this a resting movement. If we're feeling good, then we can keep our hands lifted up. If we're feeling really good, then we can lift that arm up. We're just going to go from side to side. Now, I do have some long-term students that have been studying with me for a while. If you want to go in, pushing against the wall, that's fine. I encourage initiative. And if you're there, you don't need to do this with me. This is for the benefit of our wonderful new participants, who of course are valued, just as my older ones. Now, as we've gone to that one, I'm just going to step out that foot, or any of those movements that we've talked about. If we're not feeling it, we could just lift a heel. If we want to stay just doing the forearm thing, that's good. And if we can step, then let's step. So find your rhythm. If I have any intermediate students with us, and what we were doing yesterday is pushing against the wall. So that's what I'm going to do now. You stick with what we were doing there, if that's where you want to be, and we'll push. What that looks like is that. We just push to get a counterbalance, and then we step out. And we have a nice swooping movement. We push against that wall, and we step out to heel. And again, our knees and our pelvis should remain facing forwards. If that's not happening, then we'll just reduce where we're going with our hands, okay? Lovely. And if that's really not working for you, we can just go back to that. This really is just a warm-up to do what's comfortable. You can see on camera we have varying degrees. Thanks for turning your cameras on, people. It's really useful for me. There's some lovely flowing motions there. My words aren't coming out very well today, are they? Lovely flowing motions is what I was going to say. So let's have a little push, see if we can go back to that. Nice, sweep. I do like that pitching movement in that. And push. One more each side, I think. And push. And again. Nice. Have a little shake out. I'm going to have a little sip of water. See if that will help with my words. There we go. So we're going to get to fists now. So we're going to make some fists, nice gentle fists. Just fold up those fingers and rest those thumbs. And we'll go down. We'll rest our hands on our legs if you're like me. And there's a little bit of timber there. If you're nice and svelte, then you can find your hips. What I'm going to have though is my knuckles, when they're resting here, will be against my legs and facing down. As we punch up, my knuckles will be facing up. Okay, and as I bring them back, I rotate and bring them back. Wing Chun style this. As I punch just to shoulder height. Okay, nice straight arm to shoulder height. So we'll just go through this a little bit. Rotate and punch. Rotate, draw back to thigh and punch. Rotate back. Punch. Sounds like a lot of activity entering the room. Hi, if you're new, just pick it up wherever you like. If this is your first time and you just want to watch today, that's fine. This isn't Fight Club. If it's your first time, we're just pleased to see you. And punch. Now this time, I'm going to bring that fist back. I'm going to punch out with my right fist. And as I punch out, I'm going to step out to heel on my left foot. Now I'm going to punch out with my left fist and step out with my right heel. Wow. I hope my balance is better than my words, eh? I've been studying all morning with my new Tai Chi studies, so maybe I'm a little distracted. I do apologise. The rhythm seems to be going nicely now. Nice and gentle. We should feel a little tug around just underneath our belly button as we step out. That's where we want to be holding this from. And we should be directing the arm from there. We should feel little movements coming up. If we can't feel them, let's just imagine that we can. And you'd be surprised what visualization can do. Let's go one more each side, shall we? Punch. And punch. Nice. Little shake down. I'll have one of my little customary nose scratches. There we go. Now we can go teapot if that's what you'd like to do. We can have shoulders and hands on hips. Personally, I like to cross the hands over at the moment and rest them just on or just below the belly button. I'm going to step out with my left foot and I'm going to go heel and I'm going to go toe, or any of those modifications that we discussed earlier. If you're not feeling the heel and the toe, maybe we can just lift the foot and lift the heel. Whichever way around you feel like it, however it's going today. Little shake out. Let's go the other one. Heel and toe and heel and toe and heel and toe. Back to center. Little shake out. And we'll go outside. And then we'll go inside. Outside and inside. Outside and inside. Back to center. Outside, inside. Outside, inside. Outside, inside. Wonderful. Little shake out. Little sip of water. Have a little cough. Have a little sip of water. So, if we want to remain seated, we're just going to go through that again, because that never hurts to go through that again. If we are feeling like we are improving to the point where we want to stand up, feel free to stand up. But if it is your first time, why don't we keep the chair in front of us like that? Because then we can hold on and we can do all the things that we need to do, or we can really gain the confidence to do these things, because if we have a little wobble and we have a little stumble, then we've got something to grab hold of. This is really, really good for your confidence, and staying safe is really the priority. And I really want you to come back tomorrow, and I want you to come back the day after. So look after yourself, use the props and use the safety aspect of things if they're handy. Just because we didn't need them yesterday doesn't mean that we don't need them today, okay? If we're feeling super confident, we can move that to one side. If halfway through we lose that confidence, we have a little stumble, that's perfectly fine. Relapse is all part of progression. Don't beat yourself up. Bring the chair in, sit back down, be good to yourself, okay? We're going to concentrate on our form of training, which means that we'll be here for training tomorrow. I want you to be well. Excellent. So, for anybody that's trained with me before, bear with me. I'm going to talk about knees if we're standing, okay? And I want those knees, I want all around here to be soft and flexible. I don't want any locking out of the knees. As soon as we lock out the knees, our body is thrown in whatever direction your body gets thrown in when you lock out your knees, but you will lose your balance. And what we're trying to improve while we do this Tai Chi is our balance, okay? So make sure that our knees are soft. We don't need to bend the knees particularly, especially if we feel tension and we feel that we can't maintain that, that's fine. Let's just concentrate on not locking out those knees and staying safe. And if we don't lock out those knees, our balance is much better. If we keep those knees soft, even in those environments, and we strengthen the muscles and the tendons, then they take our weight and we don't need to lock out, okay? So that's that. 70% of what you're comfortable with. Knees are hip width apart, nice and soft. And let's start with that warm up again. We'll lift up those hands. Wow, so many cameras. Hello, everyone. You all look wonderful today. Bring those hands in. Tuck that chin. When I say tuck that chin, all I'm really doing is that. So with me, it's chins, because I've got a little bit there that I could probably do that. But when we come back, we just tuck that chin. We push out. We roll down. And as we roll down, I talk about rolling the head. If you notice, I just roll that. I'm not doing this. When we come down, just, all I'm stretching out really is that little bit there. And just 70% of what is comfortable, okay? So let's do that again. Anybody that's into the breathing, on the upstroke we breathe in. Any strokes that come into the body like this will be an outward breath. Tuck that chin. Anything that's pushing away from us like that is an inward breath. Anything that comes down like that, as we roll our head down, is an out. So in, out, in, and out. If that's really confused you, and we don't like that, then just breathe easy. We're just doing that for those that want the breathing. The breathing comes last. Movement first. Push. Check those knees. Just keep checking those knees until it becomes a habit. And down. Let's bring both those hands up again. I'm going to drop my right hand, but you drop whichever one you feel good. Rest it on the thigh there. Open the palm up. Imagine that stick between chin and palm. Let's see how far we can go. Shoulders feeling pretty good today. I have remedial massage today, this afternoon. So I might be a bit beaten up tomorrow, so let's make the most of today. I might be fully seated tomorrow. Because remedial massage can be a little intense. But it does work so well for my tired old body. Bring that around, that's 70%. Look at that. What an improvement from where we started. I hope you're finding those similar improvements. Excellent. Show the palm and drop the palm. Nice and slow. Excellent. Shoulders feeling good. Right. Soften the knees. Center. Roll the shoulders forward once. And twice. And third time. And then we're going to go back once. And twice. And third time. And let us gather. And let that rain fall down. My shoulder's feeling really good now. Gather. And let that rain fall down. And gather. And let that rain fall down. Have a little shake out. Things going very nicely. Tell you what, the wind's picking up around here today. I don't know if you can hear that in the microphone, but it's very, very windy outside. So again, little demonstration of what we're going to do. We keep those knees nice and soft. We're going to pick up our hands. We're going to drop our hands behind us. As we find a balance point there, we're going to go heel, we're going to go center, and we're going to step out. All in one go. Or if we're really not feeling it, we'll just do that. Or we can just do that. If it's our first standing day today, fantastic. Don't push it. Let's learn the hands. 70% of what you're comfortable with. We're going to drop those hands. We'll make sure that our knees are nice and soft. I'm going to move all of my weight onto my right leg. And I'm going to step out. And I'm going to go left heel, center, and toe, and center, and heel. I'm going to go all in one go this time. You can follow me if you're into that. If we need that center, that's fine. If that's all getting a little bit much, we can just stand at center and just do the hands. Okay, a little shake out. Those knees. We're going to go the other side now. Soften up those knees. Lift up those hands. And drop those hands. And we'll push out behind us. All of my weight now goes onto my left foot. And we go heel. And we go toe. And center. And heel. I'm going to go all in one go. But I have been doing this a while. If you can't do that, then the center is fine. Let's go one more each side. Lovely. Shake out. That's where your chair can come in, you see. Even if you're not using the chair, and if we had a little wobble, then we have something to hold on to, you see. And we can go either side of the chair. So it's a really, really useful, really, really safe device, especially if we get into that point where we go, no, do you know what? I'm going to stand up. I'm going to try that today. Use your safety devices. Really builds your confidence. It really, really will do you really good. Okay, so we're just going to start. If we remember, for me, because I've got a strange little finger, we're just going to do the first three. Just on the top, there's my elbow there. So we're going to go just below that. And as we do, we'll sway from side to side. It's going to be a little difficult if you're doing this seated to get too much of a sway on, but you know, have a go. Try not to turn around as we do this. We're not trying to do that. Okay? We're trying to keep everything facing forwards as we go across. Slow it down. As I can see with some of my marvellous regulars, there is another element to this, which we will get to shortly. I'm going to go one more each side. Now, as I go to this side, I'm going to have on my left side, I'm touching my left forearm, and I'm just going to bring out my right toe, not heel, okay? Heel makes you drop much lower. We're just going to go toe. We're going to go toe. We're going to go toe. If the foot thing isn't working for you today, just stay doing the hands. If that's where you want to stay today, then you just concentrate on that. Find your own way forward. Tai Chi practice becomes really, really good when we can just persist in what it is that we are practicing. Okay. Now with other participants, if we want to take that another stage further, we're going to hold against the wall. We're going to swoosh and we're going to go that way. So that looks like that. Remember we did that sat down? But all of this wants to remain as forward facing as possible. So all the movement is coming like that. And actually, our hips, all of this is actually staying front on. And that's where we want to go. If we're struggling with that movement, let's just go back to that. But if we're not, that's where we want to go with it, because that will really, really help us with lots of Tai Chi forms. Again, when we're making these movements, if we concentrate on just below the belly button, what they call in Tai Chi, the Dan Tian, that's where all this movement is coming from, just here. If not, just concentrate on the belly button and engage that core, and it will come with time. Then we'll do one more. Everybody looks great on camera, and bring that back to center. Let's have a little shake out. Everybody looks great. Okay, a little bit more of a fist thing. So we're just going to curl up those hands again. We're just going to rest those thumbs on our index fingers. And this time, as I'm standing, I can find my hips. So that's marvelous. We'll just rest them there. We're going to keep our knees nice and soft. Remember what I said? If we can bend them, that's great. If not, just concentrate on keeping those knees soft. Concentrate on just below the belly button as we go. Keep those knees soft and then bend if we can when we've got our fists there. And as we punch up, then we're going to straighten those legs slightly, but not lock them out. And again. Let's go one more each side. Bring that round. Remember to rotate those wrists. Now this time, I'm going to move my weight across. As I punch out right, I'm just going to step to my toes left. And again, or any combination. If you need to hold onto the chair while you do this, that's fine. Whatever's right for you is right for you. And just feel the rhythm of it. Again, concentrating on just below the belly button. If you're not having any joy there, you really can't feel anything just below the belly button, stick with it, visualize. That can take some time, but it does help to engage the core from there. And that's really where we start with this. Now, if we go really well with that, we can add a knee lift. And we can do that sat down as well if you like. Or we can not do that, depending on how our hips and how our bodies feel. And if that's working for us, the fullest one is to show the foot. Find where your 70% is. And if it's just raising up that knee, or if it's just that toe, or if it's just doing the punch. And we'll go one more. And we'll come back to center. Okay, have a little shake out. Now, if you're doing this seated, the bit that we're about to do now is very difficult to translate to seated, because I'm just going to talk to my standing participants about the bow stance, which I do every day. So if you just bear with me, what we're going to do is when we actually start doing the movement, then we're going to just do the fists that we've been doing. And we're just going to punch from the position that we're in. But if anybody is standing, I just want to demonstrate what a bow stance is. We start with both of our feet, and it's better to show you this way around. If I'm standing in those squares from that, you'll see it better. I've got this foot, it's pointing at 11 o'clock. I've got this foot, which is pointing at 1 o'clock. And that, you get a good balance. I also do that when we're doing that, okay? Much easier than having your foot straight like that. That's not great for balance. I like mine stepped out a little bit. Experiment, you'll find where you are, and just stick with that. But for a bow stance, my left foot is 11 o'clock, my right foot is 1 o'clock. And as I step out and I point that foot at 12 o'clock. But this one stays at 1, okay? And that's your bow stance, and that's really, really strong. Now on the other side, again, 11 and 1 o'clock, okay? I've got my fists there. I'm going to put all my weight onto my right leg. I'm going to step out left to heel. And I'm going to drop down to toe. I'm going to move that knee forward. And we look down, and we should be able to just see the tip of our toes. I've got a slightly longer toe than my big toe, so I always look for that. And then as we do that, we stop there. Great balance. And we punch with the opposite fist. We come back. As we come back, we lift the heel, we just reverse the thing. And then we step out, put all my weight onto my left foot, step out right. Just so that I can see the toes and punch. Okay? Great movement, bow stance. And when you do that, it's great balance. If you overextend that knee, you really lose that balance and you're really vulnerable to being pulled forward. If you do that and someone grabs hold of you and you're in a proper bow stance, you can pull them back because you have all of that weight transfer. Fantastic. And it really is the fundamental base of so much Tai Chi that it's really, really good to learn. And we're just going to do a little bit of it now. So if we're seated, thank you for being patient. We're just going to do what we've been doing already seated. But if we're standing, then we're just going to do a little bow stance and punch, okay? So let's put those fists back on our hips. I'm going to move all of my weight to my right leg without locking out that knee. So even though all my weight is on that knee, if I need to bounce it slightly, I can because it's not locked out. Okay, that's how we're going to go. So we move our weight onto there. We step out, left, heel, Flatten the foot. Move that weight forward so that we can just see those toes. Punch at shoulder height. Yeah, looking good, people. And back, we just reversed that. So the fist is coming right back, almost back to hip. And we're onto heel, and we step back. We move our weight onto our left leg without locking out that knee. Step out. Don't step out too far. It's not a how far can we step. It's a 70% of what we're comfortable step. The further we step out, the harder it's going to be to reverse the process. So if you're coming back to this and you feel that you need to go like that to step out, then you're stepping too far. It should be a comfortable step. It should be a foot down. It should be a weight forward and a punch. And you should be able to reverse that process without losing your balance and without having to force the step backwards. So there's your moderating point. Remember to flare those back feet slightly to create both stance. So my foot that I'm taking all the weight on at the moment, those toes are 11 o'clock. I'm going to step out to 12 o'clock in a reasonable step. I'm going to move my weight forward as I put down that foot. I can just see my toes. I am incredibly well balanced here, so I'll throw that punch. If we look down, we should still be able to see our toes. If we practice this, we will get into a muscle memory situation. We will improve our balance. We will know where our knee is, where our ankle is, and where our toes are. And as a result of that, our balance will improve greatly. And we will, even if we fall with a certain amount of grace. I was on Mount Ravat recently and I slipped over under the gravel underfoot. And everybody went, wow, because apparently I caught myself really, really well. And I was actually, I didn't fall. I kind of just caught myself and got myself back up. So I hadn't even thought about it. So that's where we can get to in Tai Chi if we practice regularly, is that it's really good for fall prevention. We're back. Excellent. Have a little shake down. I think that went really well. If cameras are to be believed, you're all looking really, really good. Right. Again, like I say, at the moment, I'm really liking the old crossed over palms, but we can do the double teapot, whichever way you feel comfortable. Remember, keep those knees nice and soft. And anything that we want to do with the heel toe, if we don't want to do the heel toe, just sit there and practice the soft knees. And we'll go the other side. We're going to go heel, and we're going to go toe. Keep that knee soft, and toe, heel, and toe, and back to center. And we're going to go outside of the foot, and inside, and outside, and inside, outside, and inside, and back to center. Outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, inside. Marvelous. Feeling really, really good. What sort of time have we got? Cool. Time for a little run through with the flow, I think. Have a little sip of water. I got a really interesting piece of feedback yesterday. One of my more regular clients said to me, so it's just practice, practice, practice. And that really is the essence of it. Is that although when we first start doing this, you're going to look at some of the stuff that we do and you're going to go, no, that's kind of easy really, isn't it? But I think it's much more complicated than it actually looks. And we can always improve wherever we are, whatever it is that we're doing. We can get more and more into that form. And we can get more and more out of what we're doing because we become more and more graceful. The more we practice, the more we understand what it is that we're doing. So yes, the person that gave me that feedback, or put that feedback up in the chat, I couldn't agree more. Practice, practice, practice. It's not how many forms can we do, but how well we do the forms that we know. So I think you're doing really great, and everybody that's brave enough to have their cameras on, you're looking really, really good. So what I'm going to do now is a little demonstration of the flow to give you an idea of what we're doing. We're going to do a front on to start with. If this is your first time or you're relatively new to this, a front on demonstration like this is great for me to show you the movements that I want you to do, but it's going to be very difficult for you to copy because it's a mirror image of where, so if I'm going this way, well, actually, you're going that way. If you see what I mean, But when we turn it around, and I do it this way, this is going to be exactly where I want it to go. So the second demonstration is going to be much easier than the first demonstration. If you've been doing this a while and your form is really good and you can just practice with it, then I applaud you. I think you're doing really, really well. And that is just testament to how much practice you can put into this. And that's really brilliant. If you just want to watch this, that's cool. If you're a visual learner and it doesn't matter to you, you just want to get into it, that's cool too. If you just want to watch, then just watch. And I'll just give you a quick demonstration and then we'll do whatever time we've got left. We'll do a back on view and you can just follow what we do and then we'll close up for the day. So we're going to start with our feet together, our hips nice and soft, our knees nice and soft, okay? We're going to say Tai Chi for rehabilitation commencing. Then I'm going to shift all of my weight onto my right leg and I'm going to lift my left heel and I'm going to step out to what is comfortable. And then I'm going to even that up. I'm going to bring my hands up so that my thumbs are facing behind me, okay? To frame the bottom of the face and take 3 breaths. 1. So we breathe in as we come out and we breathe out as we come in. A little counterintuitive, but that's how it works. That's it. And I'm going to drop my right hand down. I'm going to bring my left hand across. And as we have this counterbalance, I'm going to take a small step. And then I'm going to wave hands in clouds. And this is called painting as we come down there. And as we get to that paint, that's the best counterbalance we have. So we'll step in, we'll paint, and we'll step out. And we come in. Don't make the steps too big. The smaller the steps, the easier this will be to master. Last paint, step in. Because we were moving in that direction, we put that hand up to break the flow. Very graceful movements on camera, looking good, people. Take a breath. Always drop to the left and protect the left hip first. Then we're going to move round. Keep those knees nice and soft. Protect the right hip. Come up. Nice big swoop round. Pivot, right heel. Fend off blow. Back to center. Frame the face. Take a breath. Drop down to the right hip. And then move that across to the left hip. Up, nice big circle. Move it on the right, on the left heel, and fend off blow. So if we fend off blow, we're actually protecting the face, okay? So we don't want to be up there. Nice there. Back to center. Take a breath. I drop my left hand low and my right hand. Then we do little circles. Do a big circle with the left hand, little circle with the right hand. Just before the palms touch, we step out and we tie the coat. Take a breath. I drop my right hand down, my left hand. And if you notice, hands do circles, but they do different circles. Before the palms touch, step out, tie the coat. Frame the face, take a breath. Drop left hand down, right hand comes across. Small step out. Paint, small step in and across. Paint, small step out. A little balance wobble there, I'm sorry. Step in. Don't make those steps too big. All about balance. Step in. Shut down the flow with that arm. Bring that arm up to frame the face. 3 to start, so 3 to finish. 1. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Move the hands out, palms to floor. Drop those hands down to thighs. All the way back onto the right leg. Lift up the left heel. Bring the feet together. Bow slightly and salute. So the salute is just a flat hand with the thumb there and the fist like we do in practice. Put the two together and that's yin and yang. That's how it works. And we just do that after every successful movement. That was wonderful. A little sip of water. Very graceful movements on camera. Everybody looks great. It's got the cameras on. Wonderful stuff. So that was, anybody that's new, that's a front on. When we do front on, like I say, it can be very difficult. If we're learning it, don't be put off. If you've still got your cameras on and you're still watching, you've done really, really well. What we did there was just to show you where the hands are. because it's important just to recap on that. Because every day that we do this, every day that we practice, like the feedback said, the practice is really important. And every day we practice, we should have a look at exactly what it is that we're trying to do. Okay? Now what we're going to do is I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to raise my voice a little bit, and then I'm going to do my back. So I'm going to do my back here, and we're going to do the same thing, but I'm going to go in this direction, and you can follow me exactly, and I will exaggerate the movements a little bit from side to side. So as we're running out of time, I would say we've got 2 passes to do, and then we'll have a little warm down, and that will be training for today. So we put our feet together, however we're comfortable with our feet together. We're going to move all of our weight onto our right leg. We're going to lift up that left heel, and we're going to step out. Not a huge step, and that's called open forward. Make sure those knees are nice and soft. Okay? We bring our hands up so that our thumbs are facing behind us, and we frame the bottom half of our face. So our hands are kind of somewhere around our cheekbones. We take a breath, and we breathe out. And breathe out. Breathe in, and we breathe out. I'm going to drop my right hand down, and then bring it in to protect the bottom part of my body. I bring that hand round. And as I do, that's counterbalanced, and I'll step out. I'll come across. I paint. And as I do that, I step in. So on that painting movement, as we change those hands around, that's as good as the counterbalance gets. And that's when we step out or we step in. Go one more, we paint, we step out. And we paint, we step in. We stop the flow with our right hand. We bring that other one up, and we frame the face, and we take a breath. We drop our hands down to the left. We always start on the left hip. And we bring our hands round to protect our right hip. We go up in a diagonal, nice sweeping circle round. We pivot on our right ankle. Bend up back to center. Take a breath. This time we're going to drop right first. And then we're going to move around and we're going to go left. And we'll come up diagonal. Nice big circle round and fend off blow. Back to center. Take a breath. Left hand below right hand. And so we circle up. And we come. And just as we're going to touch palms, we don't actually touch palms. We step out and we tie the coat. Pardon me. Take a breath. This time the right hand goes lower than the left. Circle it round. Just as the palms are about to touch, we step back where we were and we tie the coat. Hands come up, frame the face. Take a breath. Left hand goes down, right hand comes across. Small step out. Paint, step in. And across. And paint, step out. Paint, step in. And paint. And paint. Stop the flow with that hand. Bring this hand up. Frame the face. 3 breaths to finish. 1 and 2. Keep those knees soft, we're nearly there. 3. Hands out, palms to the floor. Arms down to thighs. Weight onto our right leg. Lift up our left heel. Step in to close fall. Bow slightly. And salute. Take a sip of water. So the one that I find that's the most difficult to relate behind is to tie the coat. So we'll just do that. We've done the cloud hands. We've just protected hips. And we come back, we centered, we take a breath, and we always go to the left to start with. With this routine, we start on the right, we go across to the left, and therefore we start on the left on both of the other forms as we go back. So we've done that, we've protected each side, We come back, we frame the face. I'll drop that left hand down, the right hand comes across. And they circle up so that the higher hand is going to make the lower hand. We step out, and that's where we tie the coat. So the other way is the other way. We go that way, make their little circles, and we come across. And then we frame the face. Okay? Excellent. Let's do one more, and that'll be that for today. Everybody's done really, really well. Let's see how we can do today. Tai Chi for rehabilitation commencing. Weight onto the right leg, left heel up, step out. Keep those knees soft, bring those hands up, thumbs facing behind us. 3 breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Right hand comes down, left hand comes across. Small step out. Pain, step in. Pain, step out. Pain, step in. Pain, step out. Pain, step in. Stop the flow with the right hand. Bring the other hand up to frame the face. Take a breath. Protect the left hip first. Move those hands round to protect the right hip. Bring them up in a diagonal. Nice swooping circle round. Pivot on that right ankle and fend off blood. And back to center. Take a breath. Protect the right hip first this time. Moves across to the left. Up a diagonal. Nice big circle round. Fend off blood. Back to center. Take a breath. Left hand goes lower than right hand. Small circles round. Right hand facing up. Left hand comes across. Before they touch, we step out. We tie the coat. Take a breath. Right hand lower than left. Circles. Before they touch, step out. Tie the coat. And take a breath. Left hand down, right hand across. Use this as a counterbalance. Step out. And pain. Step in. And pain. Step out. And pain. Step in. Last one for today. Pain. Step out. Pain. Step in. Stop the flow with the left hand. Bring the other hand up. Frame. 3 to finish. 1. And there's 2. Ooh. And there's 3. Palms face the floor, down to thighs. Rest. All of the weight onto the right leg. Lift up the left heel. Bring the feet together. Bow. Salute. We've done really, really, really well, people. Really nice to see all those cameras on. People joining all the time. So let's make some fists. Nice soft fists like we were doing in the warm-up. Rest those thumbs on those fists, okay? If we need to use the chair to do this, if we've got a dodgy hip, anything that we need to do, and we're just going to knock our fists down just above the knee. Not too hard. Just loosen up those hips a little bit. Then we're going to suck in some air. That's going to gently clench every muscle that we can find. Everything we can. Let that go. And again, nice big breath in. See if we can feel our toes this time. This time, the top of the head. See if we can just feel a string on top of the head, just stretching everything up a little bit. And let that go. Excellent. Have a little shake. Yes, gather. Let that rain fall down. And we'll gather. And let that rain fall down. Fantastic form, people. Let's be grateful for Rittling and what they've allowed us to do. Thank you, Brendan. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, everyone. Jason, Angie. I hope you have a wonderful day. Have a little shake out. Put those feet together, close form. Salute. Thank you for joining me. You've done great things. Really appreciate your time. And I'm back tomorrow. I believe it's at 9 o'clock, but let's check that with one of our wonderful Red Link moderators, shall we?